Hello guys, welcome back to Field Skills. I'm David Fields, and today we're back out at camp and we're going, as I said in the last video, we're going to build a raised bed with a spring mattress under it today. So won't tell you a whole lot. I'm going to change the camera, show you the materials I've gathered, the resources I went out and found to make this bed. Then we're going to jump right into building a raised bed for the shelter here, so be right back. Okay, let me show you the materials we've gathered. These two logs right here are going to be our base of the bed, and we'll show you what we're going to do with those in just a minute. But they are out of cedar, dead cedar I found out there. I thought it may hold up against the ground a little better, but that's going to be our base. And then beside it here, I've cut two long, about 20-foot poles, and we're going to process those, cut them up to proper lengths, notch them, and those will be the rails of our bed. We're going to need 4 good rails to build this bed. And then, let me show you over here. I've gathered up a lot of just small finger, thumb size branches off trees, just walking around cutting those off with my little saw, and that's what we're going to make the mattress out of. So let me set up and get ready, and we'll start processing these materials and build us a bed. Okay, what I've done is I've got my measurement to the same length of those two cedar logs I showed you earlier. So I have measured out, I want these are going to be the second level of our raised bed, the bases, and we're going to measure here, and I made a mark right here to where I want to cut, and I'm going to cut a piece off of the big end of this one and the big end of the other pole that we cut, and then we'll have our end pieces of the base, and we'll cut the 7.5, 8 foot rails to it next. So let me cut this real quick with the bow saw, and we'll be right back. Okay, let me show you what I'm doing. As you can see here, I'm making a notch. I made a saw cut here, and just a saw cut here, about 3/4 of an inch, half an inch down in to the thing, and then took my hatchet and just chipped that away to make a notch. On our end pieces, we'll make the same notch to mate up with them like this. So I'm going to do a notch on this side for the bottom. This will be the bottom. Then I'm going to come back on the other side and make a notch that'll mount to the second end piece on there. So will be a notch on this side and a notch on the bottom side on each end of these, and the same for the bottom end pieces will only have a notch on the top. The second end pieces on each end will have a notch on the top and the bottom to mate up with these poles. So I hope that makes sense. I think you'll see it in the finished product when we get it together, but I'm going to notch these out now, and then we'll turn the camera back on and show you where we're at. Okay guys, doesn't look like I'm going to finish today. I'm running out of daylight. Got a late start today on this project. But as you can see, I've got the bottom end pieces and the bottom rails are notched. I've just laid the top end pieces and the top rails in place to see how it was going to fit and how level it was. I've still got to notch those. That takes a lot more time than you would think, but that's going to be the gist of it. Now, when we look down inside, see, we can fill that with browse to help keep the conduction and the ground, get some dead air space in there. So that would be an option. Or when we have that spring mattress we're going to put on top and finish in the second half of this video, you could use that for storage up under there, because this mattress will be able to roll up and roll back out to give you some spring and something to lay on. But pretty good start today on this project. Hello guys, welcome back to Field Skills. It's been a few days since we started this bed project. I ran out of daylight last weekend, or last Monday actually, and so got back out here today to finish this project up. It's rained for the last 2 or 3 days, and I'm really pleased. I've checked it before, but we've had a steady rain for about 3 days, and it is a little damp, but it's not, no real water has come through the shelter here. I think just seepage and all from that, so it's good and dry in here. But we left it last time with our raised bed, and we had done our bottoms, our bases down there out of the cedar logs, and then I notched the cedar logs and the lower rails here on both sides, so I've got those in place. And I had just set these up when I ran out of daylight to see how it was fitting. So today I'm going to continue on. We're going to need to notch this upper end piece on both sides, 4 notches there, 4 notches down here, and then we'll notch these top rails on the bottom twice, one on each end of these 2 poles. So I'm going to get those out, but I tell you what, I'm going on and mark where I'm going to notch right now. And what I'm going to do is just take my little saw, and as I can look and see that I'm lined up, I'm just going to go on and make a little saw cut there and here to mark. That's where I want to notch there. I want to do the same thing back here, as you can see, and then I'm going to come under it and mark, notch this one where the notch is going to be. So just marking where I want my notches. Okay, here's the mark with the little saw mark I made. One right here, one right here. So I'm going to start that notching process, and all I'm going to do is take my saw and make a simple cut right across the top. Really just a starting cut, going down about maybe ½ an inch on this. But I'm going to go a little deeper, make sure I got a good flat notch there. That looks pretty good. Set my saw aside. Grab my knife, my baton, and just start notching this out. Okay guys, as you can see, I've got the notches all done, setting up here. Looks good and level right now. So what I'm going to do now is start the spring mattress it's going over. And what we need to do is get a measurement here first. And what I want to do is decide about how long. That's wider than my shoulder, so I'll be alright, we're going to make it about this long, and I'm going to cut all of these poles, limbs that I cut the other day, and we'll do that. So let me change the camera and we'll show you how we're going to do that just with our little Bonko saw. Cut them all to length, then we'll start putting the mattress together. Okay, what I've got, I cut this one off the size what I want, and I'm going to put it on my sawhorse here with a mark. I'm just going to mark it on this support pole here. So right there's my mark, and then what I can do is pick as I come along here. Let's do it this way. More. Mark it there. Come to the end. And cut it. And we'll just keep doing this till we get enough for our mattress. They'll all be approximately the same length. So let me cut these up and then we'll move on. All right. I've got my springs cut. As you can see, I've got them laid in there. And the next thing we're going to do is lash these together, or kind of weave them. My original plan was to lash them together, and then a week or so ago I saw a video that Dave Canterbury did making a stool, and how he used a thread and a rope and ran the springs or the leaves to his seat through the rope, and I'll show you how we're going to do that in a minute. But we're going to make this bed out of just some regular rope hanging right there, and weave these, I guess you would say weave them in, these springs into that, and see how it works. So let me get set up over here and change the camera, and then we'll start putting these springs together. Okay guys, first thing I'm going to do is make a fed, and what it is a wooden needle to get into the weaves or the twist of the rope so that we can run the springs through that. So we're just going to sharpen off the end of this stick. Get it rounded but sharp. Okay, what I've done is I've got this is going to be my first spring at the top, at the head of the bed, and I've measured my rope out so it will go across the top, down each rail, and across the bottom. So I've got my rope measured out, and I centered it up, and I have started my first weave. And I will bring this in closer when we do the second one to show you how we're going to weave these in. And once we start adding them down through here, it should really tighten this up, and then we'll have the ability here to actually tighten this down, maybe with a forked limb driven into the ground to really hold it in place. But let me bring you in closer. And there we go. And let's run our second spring through here. I'm going to keep my hatchet close, and sometimes there may be a little knot that I want to, so that doesn't stick in, but that feels pretty smooth. What we'll do then is we take our thread and run it through the twist in that rope. Let me see if I can get that over. Alright, see how we've run that through? And that gives us, opens that up, and we just stick our spring through that, run it out even. Alright, see if you can see that. There we go, that's number one. So we'll come down to this end. Try to measure that out about the same on all those. Run our thread through. We've got our hole. Feed the spring through. And then even those up. About even, and there's number two, you can see in there. And we'll just continue this all the way down until we get to the end and get them all in, and then we should have us a mattress that will allow us to roll it up, take it with us if we need to, or provide us some flexibility and some spring on our bed. So let me add some more to this, and then we'll turn the camera back on, show you where we're at and kind of a progress down through the system as we weave these springs into our mattress. Alright guys, just going to give you a quick update and show you how it's coming, and you see that these are just being woven into this rope. And we'll just continue this on as we go and get the length of our bed, raised bed over there, and then we'll maybe nap time. Be back in a minute. Okay guys, this is our mattress. I just hung it up so you could get a look at it and see. May have to do a little shaving on this. There's a little knot on it, but this is going to be at least the length of my body, and I've got enough extra. I ran out of my limbs here, springs, and so I could add some more if I need to, but just wanted to give you a view of it standing up, and then I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to take some bank line. I may show you that first, and tighten these top ones up here so that they don't tend to try to come in on it. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that, and then we'll roll it out on the bed and see how it works. Alright guys, I'm going to lash this down in here to make this a rope across the end tight. Let me get you in a little closer. You can see what we're going to do. I'm just going to take a little bank line here. Good old useful bank line. Got rid out of my shirt. There we go. Alright, let's pull this up. What I'm going to do is take a little loop, bring it right up there. I am going to this down good and tight as I loop over it. that good and tight as come around there. That's the last one. We're going to run it through that loop we got right there. Pull that down tight. Hold it. I'm going to take my bed here as a pull. Put that up and pull that right down through it. And that should have that nice and tight. Okay, now let's pull that back up like that. Hope you can see that. And a security knot right here on the end so that it doesn't try to come back. And we'll do the same thing on the other end. Let's bring that in tighter and I'll show you what it is. Alright, as you can see right there, we've got that lashed right here, and it's going to keep that from sliding and hold that tight, and we'll do it here on the other end, the same thing. And then we'll have this end piece good and tight so we can make any adjustments we need to with sliding our pieces back and forth here to get them straightened up. And then we'll roll this out on the raised bed and see how it works. Alright guys, just taking a little nap on our raised bed with a spring mattress bed here. It's really pretty comfortable. It's more comfortable than I even expected when I envisioned it in my mind. It does give some spring to it. Really lays pretty nice. I think I could sleep on this at night. It's maybe some tweaking we need to do. I was thinking about putting a fork stick, driving it in to keep it tension on it from trying to squeeze in to hold it out and hold it into place, but it's really not bad. I'm pretty pleased with it. And a couple of the neat features to it. You can roll it up. There you've got storage up under your bed if it needs to be, if it's a summer or springtime when it's not cold. But if it is going to be a really, really cold night, I could fill this in with pine straw and leaves and browse to build that dead air space in there, and probably sleep a little warmer, and then may get some heat from the fire coming up under there. But wouldn't be bad. You know, if I were out in a survival situation or out long term and didn't bring one with me, I could make a grass mat to go over it, a little padding situation. Of course, if you're out camping, you may bring your mattress, your air pad for under your sleeping bag, or your wool blanket, whatever you'd be sleeping on. But that's really not bad. I mean, you're not going to want to jump up and down on it like you did with your bed at home when you were a kid, but it gives some flex to it, and that's what I liked about it and what I envisioned with it. I like the way this worked out. I got to give credit again to Dave Canterbury. In his video I saw the other day, I had intended to lash these together, but when I saw that I thought, man, that is easy and quick and works really well. And I tell you what it's done, it's given me an epiphany, if you will. I've been wondering how I wanted to close in the ends of this shelter when the canopy is down, this is open, and to create a triangle out of this. Start with a short piece up top to a piece that's that wide, and you could create these. Wouldn't have to necessarily be this close, but build a wall out of it that could be a door. It could hang from your ropes at the top on your ridge pole, swing open and out, but you could do this, and then take grass, vines, whatever you could find, and weave through it and close that off, block the wind from coming in on the ends at the colder, and it would be something you could take off in the summer. And that may be a project in a video we do one day, is to do that, or I may just build it, since I've shown you how, build those sometime and give you a quick picture of those in another video of closing that in. So that was one of the ideas I had while working on this. But pretty pleased with this, and the camp's coming along. So it's been fun through that, but I think this is going to work nice for me. Alright guys, that completes our raised bed. There will be some adjustments. I'm going to, as I said earlier, use those fork sticks to put some tension on that and hold it tight, but I'll do that later on. But that's going to work out nice. So good project, camp starting to come together. It's just a lot of fun to get out and play in the woods and at your camp. I hope you learned something. Maybe it sparked interest. You said, hey, that would help me do this. I'd like to do that. That's what these videos are all about. I learn from others. Hopefully you can learn something from me and share that with your kids or someone else to make life in the woods better. But we're going to head to the house now. As I end all my videos, I use the quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. And Emerson said, "Life is not a destination, life is a journey. So come and join us again as we journey to self-reliance here in the great outdoors." My name is David Fields, and you've been watching Field Skills.